just wanted to tap in for a little bit. I hope you guys are doing good. Hope you're doing great. And happy Tuesday. And we are here on Transformational Tuesday. I really didn't have a topic, but I'm gonna come up with one on the fly because I wanted to chit chat with all of my gems. What is something that you are seeking to transform in your life? For me, I'm on this personal growth journey, and I'm trying to learn to work on transforming my mindset and get myself focused and be more positive. And it's one of those things that no matter how much you try to be positive, there's always going to be people who are going to try to make you feel bad for being positive or try to break you down. And that I'm going through something right now that is kind of irritating me, I guess you could say, in a nice way to say irritating me. But if we're trying to improve our lives and to be better, we can't let other people stop us from being our best, from being happy. And I'm working on that, not allowing other people to get to me, but it's difficult sometimes because our patience can be very thin with some people. You can be very impatient with some people because some people are just mad disrespectful. And other people, no matter how much times you tell them things, they just don't get it because they don't want to get it, because they don't care about anybody but themselves, just selfish. But today I wanted to chat with you guys about transforming your mind, transforming your life. And it's not going to be an easy thing, you know. I feel like it's forever going to be something that I'm going to have to work on. Hi, SNJ. How are you doing? Welcome. I feel like it's something forever that I'm going to have to work on. I'm going to have to be working on me forever. Hi, James. How are you doing? Welcome. Hi, Isaac. I feel like forever I'm going to be working on me so that I can be happier. I can have more peace and joy in my life. SNJ says, good. How about you? I'm doing great, SNJ. Thanks so much for being here. Welcome in, everybody. Feel free to hit the like and to subscribe. I think the name is Wazi. I hope I said it right. If I didn't, I apologize. I am from Florida. I hope you guys are doing great. Happy Tuesday. Today I'm talking to you guys about transforming your mindset and transforming your life, right? Oh, thank you, S&J. I really appreciate that. Transforming your mind, and also transforming your focus, because there's a lot of things that we focus on that we need to stop focusing on. That would be something like for me. Oh, that's cool, S&J. Um, that's something that I'm always in the process of continuously growing and being a better person. And I think every single person should work on themselves. Some people have given up. Some people have never tried to work on themselves, but I'm striving to be a better person and transform some things that go on in day-to-day life, adulting. Sometimes you have to heal some things from your childhood or things that people say. You have to learn how to be strong and dismiss the negatives and keep yourself positive. Keep your mind right, you know? Isaac says, I'm good. What about you? I'm doing great. I'm doing great, Isaac. Thanks for asking. I hope you are as well. Um, that's something that, every day I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be a better role model. I'm trying to take better care of myself. my health in all aspects. Financially, I'm trying to make better financial decisions. That's a transformation in itself because most people don't know about financial literacy. They don't know anything about credit and how to budget and take care of money. So that causes problems. And another problem that people have is the mental health aspect, because like myself, I didn't know about setting boundaries and knowing when to cut people off that were using me, taking advantage of me. And I wanted to say that to everybody too. And when you know somebody is taking advantage of you, is not supporting you, or using you for whatever reason, we're the ones that have to cut it off. SNJ says, is this about like growing up and what you should do? Not really what you should do. I'm just sharing some of the things that I'm trying to transform. This is Transformational Tuesday, so every Tuesday I talk about something that we want to change in our life. And I would love to hear what you guys are trying to transform in your life. Right now, today, I'm working on transforming my mindset and not letting myself get blocked and slow down because of other people don't want better. The people who are negative, the people that are surrounding you. Most of the time, the people who bring you the most pain in your life are your own relatives. Okay, and they don't respect boundaries because they don't respect themselves and love themselves. So I did want to talk about that and how we need to save ourselves, save yourself, rescue yourself from the people that are around you. We don't win any awards by always supporting and being there for everybody and forgetting about ourselves, forgetting about our own hopes, forgetting about our own dreams and our own life, and our health, and how we feel about things, and not allowing ourselves to process things that bring us pain. It could have been something many years ago or something that just happened. So in transforming my mindset, I have to give myself the permission to breathe sometimes, and to have my own solo time, cut people off. Hi Angela, how are you doing? Welcome in. Hope you're doing great. And that is one of the things that I had to learn, to give myself that permission to take breaks, respites, respite care for my own self, for my mental health, for my peace of mind, and just because I love myself. And there's so many individuals that we can know of, and they don't want you to grow. Some people just like to stay stuck. Hi Pika, how are you doing? Welcome. How many have you had to cut off through? Oh, I couldn't even count, Pika. It's been a lot of people. Welcome in. Yes, I am doing well, Angela. Thank you so much. I hope you as well. So that's something that I'm working on. It's a continual basis. I'm working on keeping my mindset sharp, focused, determined, and not allowing other people who don't care about themselves, they don't have goals or dreams, to not let me adopt the attitudes that's very pervasive in this world. It's most people are just about themselves. They only care about how they're going to benefit and what they get through from things. And it can also be your own relatives. Oh, I'm not really sure, Pika. I cut off people as needed. I don't really count how many. It really is. So I wanted to encourage every single one of you on this Transformational Tuesday for us to think about our mindset. How do I deal with people and situations? And am I doing a good job? Am I taking care of myself? And etc. Hi, Delvin. How are you doing? Welcome. That's one of the things that, hi Pete, how are you? Welcome. Yes, bless the chat. Um, I wanted to say to everybody, we have to take care of our mental health. Okay? You got to take care of your mental health. And if we're not okay here, everything else in our life will be affected, because your mental health affects your physical health, affects your financial health, affects your spiritual health. It all goes together, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, greetings from South Africa. Hi, welcome. Like number 6, thank you so much. Pete, I hope you're doing well. Angel says good words of wisdom. I'm trying my best. I'm trying. I like to share my insights with everybody, and I am a life coach. It's what I do. When I'm not on YouTube, I do have my life coaching that I do, and I also am an esthetician. I'm getting better now regarding mentally, yes. And that's one of the things that when I talk about transforming your mind, it's something that you really have to pay attention to if you're well, because many of us were just raised to just, oh, you have to perform like almost robotically, that you're going through life, you're not doing okay, you're sad, or you're going through something, maybe you're overtired, but you're not giving yourself that time to say, I gotta rest. Somebody will make a phone call and say, hey, I need you, and then you jump up and go, when what you really need to say in transforming your mindset, when you think about yourself and you love yourself, you set that boundary, said, I would love to, but I can't make it today. That's making a choice to choose yourself. And that's something that I had to learn. I had to learn that just because people ask you to be there and support them, you can sometimes, but if you really can't, whether it's you can't afford it financially, you can't afford it because you're just physically exhausted, sometimes you're just mentally exhausted. And I have been working, that's my latest thing that I have been trying to transform. So I wanted to talk about this with all of the Gems family. Pete, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome aboard. That's something that I'm a work in progress. I'm not perfect. I'm just trying to treat myself the way I deserve to be treated. And I wanted to say that to every single person that encounters this video, anybody in the sound of my voice that hears that, you deserve to take care of yourself here. Mental health matters. It really and truly does. If you're not doing okay here, you're not going to be okay in your spirit. You're not going to be encouraged. You're not going to be at peace. There's going to be this struggle internally, and then it's going to affect you physically. You are clearly doing it. You are not trying it, ma'am. Thank you, Pete. You are, oh, I missed some things. I'm getting better now regarding mentally. Oh, good, Pete. I'm glad to hear that. That's why I've always loved dogs. They don't ask for much and they're always loyal. Yes, I've heard many people say that pets are more loyal than human beings. And I found that when I choose the right human beings, and not just allowing people to have a space, hold a space in my heart, get my time all the time. We are the ones that have to advocate for ourselves. We're the one that sets the standard. If we don't like the way people are treating us or not supporting us or being disrespectful, the question always is why do we allow it? That part right there really shows how much confidence, how much courage, and how much we actually love ourselves. Because people talk all the time about, I love myself, but look at the way the people in your life treat you, because you keep allowing disrespect, you keep allowing people to ghost you or to be very rude or to use you. See, and that's enabling behavior. And in my time when I went to therapy for many years, this was something that I was trying to learn to unbox, to remove it from me, because that is something that in my childhood, it was one of those things that was um, put into my mind always constantly, that you have to do this. That's your family. But there is nothing that talks about balance and can you afford to? Do you feel well? Do you even want to be there? All of those things is that in transforming your mind, you have to move aside from what is not helping you and leave aside from the things that are hurting you. Those are the decisions that we can make every single day to benefit ourselves, to have peace, and to be happy. We can be happy if we make a decision to say, I don't like that. And then you cut them off. You can block people. Stop listening to their phone calls. Stop supporting and giving money. We always have choices that we can make every day. And I love that even if you have done something for a long time, you can always make changes. You can always make improvements. And that's what I love about life. It doesn't matter how long you live. You could be 80 years old or you could be very young. At any time in our life, when we empower our mind, we can empower our life. Okay? Let's see what else I missed. My best friends have always been dogs. Yes, Angela, it is about boundaries, right? And we all need to not only have boundaries, not only for ourselves, but for other people. And when I was going to therapy, that was something that I didn't understand. I knew that I didn't like when people did things to me, but I didn't know that you have to tell people what you don't like, and you also have to inform people of what you do like, so that you're not emotionally affected by it, getting upset. When we do not communicate what we expect, you are going to get hurt because you haven't communicated. And that's something that I had to work on improving, being a better communicator and not assuming. That was the thing that I grew up in, that like, you've known me for how long? You know what I like. And actually, a lot of times they don't. If you do not say it in these terms, I don't like this and this, but I do like when you do this and this. That's good for us, and it is good for them as well, because we train people how to treat us. We really do. Angela says, that's so difficult for me. Okay. I'm so sorry that's difficult for you. Angela says, indeed. Hi, Miss Lynn. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Pete says, I'm elated that I found you. The world needs more of you. Thank you so much, Pete. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Angela. Hey, Leonica, how are you doing? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Angela says, I have to go. Looking forward to seeing you live stream again. Love and hugs. Thank you, Angela. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Pete says, Marlene, I have now tapped into writing poetry, and now when I feel some type of way, I communicate like that. I'm content. Yes. And that's something that comes from inside of us. Yes, Miss Lynn is talking transforming your mind, and I'm telling you that the transformation, it has to start here. You know, I am transforming my mind because I deserve better. And that's something that you not only speak out loud, not just saying it to yourself, not saying I love myself on the surface level, but you have to go in deeper. Because I love myself, I encourage myself. I say positive things to myself. I speak over my life. I don't allow people to use me and abuse me. These are all the things that encompass us loving ourselves. It's not just saying we love ourselves. Well, that's good. It also involves having a friendship with yourself. It's who you have as your friend, and it's the boundaries that you set, and the things that you have to constantly work on healing, and doing things like the action. Because I love myself, this is what I'm willing to do for me. Lynn says, transforming your mind. Yes. And it's so hard. It's not easy to transform your mind when you've been used to, for so many years, doing whatever it is that's very toxic. Most of us are our own worst critic. I know I am my own worst critic. I could do an amazing job at a conference and giving a motivational speech about something, and I will still find a way to put myself down, to punch holes in in something, to try to make my, like, lessen that my greatness, lessen what I did, and how great and awesome that I did. And it's something that we each have to work on, encouraging our own self and telling ourselves, I'm doing a great job, and I'm proud of myself. I'm doing great and awesome. Oh, you speak about that on your channel. Awesome, Pete. I've been used and abused for far too long, and I blame myself because I allowed it. Yes. Yeah, there's some things that we can't do anything about. Like when you were young, you were a child, you can't do anything about those things because you were depending on other people to protect you and take care of you. But as we are adults, now now is the time, right? Now is the time for us to transform our mind and to release things and let it go and do the best that we can. That's all we can do in this life, is do our personal best. We can't do anything about anything else. All we can do is be our personal best. All you can be is your personal best, and you got to leave everything else alone, right? Pete says, worst critic sounds more like me. Yes. I know. Hi, Mark. How are you doing? Welcome. I know that I am my own worst critic. Most definitely. I'll put myself down. Yeah. And I'll say discouraging things, and then I have to check myself. And I think that's a part of the transformation that each of us needs to work on. When I do something like, oh, that's horrible, or that looks so ugly, or I didn't do good, then I have to go back and backtrack a little bit and say, no, you did great. You did the best that you can. Be proud of yourself. That is how we transform. You have to do something for at least, what they said, for 30 days before something becomes a new healthy habit. So it's taken me a long time. Oh no, go ahead, Pete. I love when you guys chit chat with me in while I'm live. This is how I get to know my Gems family. Past is the past, I guess. Oh, sometimes the past is what you think it is. And that is what therapy did for me and helped me with that thought that I was always upset about things that happened to me, you know, way however many years ago, months ago, or whatever ago. And it's all about how we choose to look at it. It's your perspective on it. And we can't do anything about what had happened, but what we can change is the way we look at it. And that is what has been a wonderful part of my transformation, and it can be a wonderful part of your transformation. When something's happened to us, we can look at it and we can say, what did I learn from it? What did I grow from it? And all of those things. That, yes, it may have been painful, terrible, but I know that I learned lessons from everything. I always said there was nothing bad in my life. It was lessons. See, either you are learning, but you're never losing. See, before I used to say, I messed up, I'm losing. Everything is about what you believe about yourself. There's situations that maybe was not the best, but it was a lesson. You grew, you became stronger, you developed into something. Maybe you met somebody. There's always something beneficial from everything in life, even those difficult lessons. Hi, Wellness. How are you doing? Welcome and happy Tuesday. There's always something that we can learn from this life. Always, 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 always. There's nothing that we won't learn. And, also in part of transforming our minds and transforming our life is we really have to think about who we become. Who are you becoming? What are you turning into? And I always like to reflect on that. Who am I today as a woman? Who are you today as a man? You got to think about those things. How have you grown and what have you transformed into? Hey, Realist, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just here, Pete. Okay, Mark, thank you so much. Pete says accurate diagnosis is half the cure, right? Yes. You have to know what is best for you. And I just finished talking about that it's very important for us to know ourselves. What works for one person, that is not going to work for you. You got to know yourself and have enough courage to say, this isn't working. This person in my life isn't working. I don't have peace. I don't have joy. And then having enough courage to do something about it. See, that's the transformation. A lot of people will be miserable about so many things in their life. Oh, I don't like this in my life. I don't like that in my life. But they keep complaining about the same thing instead of having enough courage to change it, to shift their mindset, shift people out their life, close the door. Or maybe the thing about it is maybe you need to shift the way that you look at it, because I've been through lots of hard times in my life, and I keep telling myself, this is such a difficult thing. It's a burden. This is so hard. Anything that you tell yourself is how you're going to deal with it. If you keep telling yourself this is unbearable, it's going to be unbearable. But when you tell yourself, I'm learning how to be strong, I'm learning courage, I- I'm I'm growing in my personal development. If you look at it as you're gaining life skills, you're gonna you're gonna feel a different way about it. It's not gonna be a heavy burden. But if you look at it like, this is terrible, this is awful, I hate it, I'm telling you, your mindset and your perspective, how you look at things, is going to really affect how you are coping with your life. When I learned that part, that I am in control of how I deal with it. I'm in control of my reaction. People do things, but then how do I react to it? You don't always have to react to everything. There's a lot of things that you just like, that's not my problem, not my business. I had to learn that part because I used to be like, oh, they get on my nerves, and why do they do this? And like, you go crazy. You can't allow other people's decisions to have power over you, you know? Let's see what I missed. Okay. Delvin says our higher self. Yes. Delvin, our higher self. Yes. Pete says facts. Realist is saying hi to Delvin. Pete says, I have changed my mindset about complaining a lot. I choose happy thoughts because someone out there has it worse than me. Mm. Uh, that's a very good shift to think about others that have it worse than you, but also you should think about, when you, instead of complaining about it, I like to encourage myself. Like when something is difficult, I said, I get another opportunity to do this again. And how am I going to deal with this today? Am I going to be strong? Am I going to be positive? Am I going to give it my best? Everything is the strength and the power that you show up. Are you going to show up in the room strong, confident, or are you going to allow other people to get in your head and break you down? See, we are the ones that allow people to take our power. Anytime where you're arguing with people, you're trying to convince people of your worth and value, you're wasting your time. If somebody can't see that you're a bright light, if somebody can't see that you're worthy, you're never going to convince them of such. You're never going to convince people to love you if they don't love you, if they don't understand you. If somebody doesn't respect you, they're not going to respect you just because you want them to. A person has to freely give you respect. And if they don't, that's when you move along. That's when you shift your attention to something else, something or someone else, or put the focus back on yourself, right? Um, what is everyone's past traumas? Oh, Mark, that would be uh, I could be live for probably a whole 24 hours talking about past traumas. I have many, many past traumas, and I have another channel where I talk about traumas, and that is my Love Marlene 411. That channel is all about trauma healing. I only focus on traumas over there. So if you want to talk about traumas, head over to Love Marlene 411. But just like everybody, I have been through things in my life. But I would say that one of the hardest things that I have ever had to get over was losing 5 people in my life back to back. My father passed away from cancer in October of 2016. 6.5 months later, my mom passed away. And 2 months after that, my aunt passed away. And then a year and a half later, my brother passed away from COVID. So that has been my biggest traumas to date, is losing my core people, the people that I depended on for support. That has been my biggest trauma, is having enough courage to move on with my life without them, and not feeling that my life is empty without them. For me, the trauma has been that I can't share certain things with them like I wanted to, and I had to learn how to have my own. I had to learn how to have my life. I had to learn to get into my dreams instead of making my dreams surround the people that I love. And that's what I was doing for a long time. My dreams were taking care of people and loving them. But after they left, it gave me a new perspective that I needed to learn to have my life. Oh no, Mark. I know there's no hate. Uh, Uh, no, my bad. No trauma. What's this channel about? What channel? What channel are you referring to, Mark? Lynn's life lesson says, yes, boundaries are important. Very, very important. Pete says, absolutely, Lynn. Oh, yeah, Mark. I was never saying there's no hate. You're always free to ask questions. Pete says, nothing wrong with asking, Mark. It never is. Sure, Bob. So I just wanted to say to everybody, if there's something that you're coping with, it's something that you're going through in this life, it's going to take courage to face it. It's going to take courage to change it. One of the things that I had to really work on is taking things one moment at a time. I've heard many people say, motivators, we are out of sync in the chat. um, Bob says depression and anxiety. Yes, if you are feeling that way, I am not a doctor. I am a life coach, and I just give tips. And me being a person that has dealt with depression and anxiety for off and on almost my entire life, I can share some things that has helped me with depression and anxiety. I'll just share two things very quickly. The first thing, when I'm feeling how I was feeling when I was in that dark hole and being sad, I had to stop thinking that nobody cared about me. You got to get that part out of your head. Because if you keep saying nobody cares about me, yes, there may be people that are around you that don't care about you, but saying that blanket statement of nobody cares about me, that's not true. That's not true at all. It's just those individuals that may be around you don't appreciate you and love you, but you're worthy whether they're in your life or not. And that is part of being confident and learning how to love yourself, is not taking other people's negative and toxic energy and letting it be the evaluation of you. That takes time, Bob. It takes time, you know. Mark says, Marlene, how are you doing after the no one cares about you? Me not so good. Oh, well, when I found out that there were individuals in my life that they were only there to use me and abuse me and to take advantage of me and backstab me and find my personal business and spread it in the streets, and when I find out who people really are, when the mask drops off and I realize that you are toxic and not supportive and you're draining me, now it's my time to take action. And the action is, I got to remove you from my life. So I remove myself from those people. I block them. I stop telling them my business. I don't go around them. I'm not going to support them. I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. But the whole thing is about it is that you got to put on your own oxygen mask. You have to save yourself first before you can save anybody else. That's the truth. Nobody is going to save you until you save yourself. And that for me has been a big transformation. Hey, Sirius, how are you doing? Welcome. I had to learn how to take care of my mental health. I had to learn how to be there for myself. And that's not something that is learned. We're not taught that from our childhood, how to take care of ourselves. We're not taught to set boundaries and to say no and to mean it and to, take breaks from other people and reset ourselves for it to be like we're selfish or we're mean or we're evil or all those things, when it's just the opposite. We should be thinking about ourselves. We should be focused on our mental health. You should be taking care of yourself. And if the people in your life are not giving you support, I call it matching energy. If people are not matching your energy, then you got to take yours back. And then you move along. Oh, I know you're not trolling, Mark. Yes, please hit the like on coming in. Thank you so much, Sirius. But I'm only going to be on here for probably like 5 more minutes. But I wanted to say this to everybody. What is something that you are looking to transform in your life? I've talked a little bit about I'm transforming my mindset. I'm transforming my diet. I'm transforming the way I look at other people. But recently, what I have really been transforming is my energy, how I show up in the room. See, before, the old me, the one that didn't have a lot of confidence, when I used to go into a room, I would never give eye contact and just stay to myself. But now when I go into the room, I assert myself. I show that I love myself. And I can see the ones that don't like it is the ones that, oh, and then they look down at the other ones that look at you and will smile, you shake your hand, or people that you're close to will give you a hug. See, when I learned to transform my energy, when I started working on me, every time I show up in the room, I show up as a bright light. I show up with peace. And if I can't show up with peace, I'm not going to show up at all. That's the times where I say I need to be by myself, because I don't believe in bringing other people down. I don't believe in judging other people. Everybody has the right to make their own decisions. Let's see. Yes, welcome in, everybody. Hey, PMC, how are you? Welcome. Delvin says, looking to transform how I react to things. That is a very good one, Delvin. And I would love to hear how you're working your way through. You're working your way through that, because my thing is, when people do things, it's like, for real, some people are for real, it's like some people are just fools, you know, just to be real and honest. Some people are just fools. Thank you, Sirius. I appreciate it. Sorry about that, PMC. I was trying to hide somebody else. Hi, Spirit in the Sky. How are you? Welcome. So, I just wanted to say that Delvin says, I'm going 50-50, not where I want to be with it. Okay. I don't know why it must have taken your wrench away. I know I had you as a mod before, PMC. Okay. I gave you that mod back. And welcome in, Spirits in the Sky Blue. I appreciate you being here. I hope you're having an amazing day. I appreciate it. We'll support. Oh, I know you will, PMC. I know you will. I just wanted to say to every single one. I'm gonna have to put my phone on the charger. Oh, I didn't notice that my phone was getting low. So, you guys, hold on a second. Okay, now we're charging. I wanted to say to everybody when we talk about transforming, right? Making a transformation in our life, you can't look at other people and try to keep up with them. Do you guys know what I mean when I say that? That's something. Okay, Mark. No, I'm not going right now. I had to really work on that part of me, that feeling like I have to hold back because it will make other people feel bad. I felt like I couldn't just be my real and authentic self, because I'm definitely a hustler. I'm a person that goes after what I want, even when I'm scared. I know how to walk through things that before I didn't know how to, because I'm working on me, and I'm a work in progress. And I think that's one of the best things to happen in this life, is to work on yourself. The people who don't know me before would never believe that I was the most angry, bitter, jealous person that you could ever meet. If you guys knew me 10 years ago, I'm definitely not the person that I was 10 years ago. And when people say all the time that people can't change, that's not true, because I'm proof of that. I used to be a very miserable person. Every time I would see people, I was always hating on people. And it's because I hated myself. And until you heal that inside of yourself, until you learn how to love yourself, oh yes. Oh, PMC, I was the worst. And I'm just thankful for peace. I'm thankful for self-love. It's all of those things in the past 10 years that I have gradually learned. I've learned to remove myself from toxic people. That has been the major part that has shifted me into the person that I am today. You can't be happy and at peace around people who are not happy and at peace with themselves, you know? So that was a major deal for me. When I removed myself from the toxic people, I stopped being toxic. And I started to say, I got some peace over here. I got some joy. I have some money even. When you start making better choices and owning it and being accountable, I kept toxic people. I'm going to own that because I did. I'm not going to blame anybody else for how my life was before because I allowed it. I allowed disrespect. I allow people to use me and abuse me. I allow people to run over me. I allowed that part. But now that I own it and say, when I know if I feel uncomfortable, I know if I don't want to be somewhere, I'm going to say no. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to support. I'm not going to sugarcoat things to make other people feel happy. If people ask me to go somewhere and I know that those people don't like me, I know that they don't support me or whatever the case may be, or I can't afford it, I no longer do things I don't want to do anymore. I only do the things that pours into me, that makes me feel good. I don't show up to things where I have to be feeling uncomfortable, looking at my watch and like, oh man, why did I come here? I don't do those things to myself anymore. I think what I learned is I learned how to be authentic. I learned to be real, not just around other people, but behind closed doors. And learning to be authentic and accept myself for really, who am I? What do I want to do? What am I interested in? And if other people don't like it, that's their problem. When I learned to start pouring into me, then my life started changing. I started changing, and my confidence definitely went up. Yes, yes. Yeah, PMC, trust me. And I know, if we're going to talk about transformation, I know that I've heard a lot of people when you're angry, when you're immature, when you're judgmental, jealous, and all of those things, that makes you into a completely different person. But once I started to say, how about what do I like? How do I want to dress? What am I interested in? What is my passions in life? And then when I started to give myself the permission to be that, to be happy, to be at peace, and not look to the left or the right about what other people think I should do, but me thinking about it, meditating about it, praying about it, and then going ahead and making a decision. That's where my transformation began. hmm Yeah, for sure. PMC says, yes, having those that uplift us around us definitely elevates the betterment in us as we grow. Um, um, Maturation is a great transition. Yes, once we become mature, like mental, not just mentally, but in our mindsets, and that's why people always talk about, oh, but you're grown. No, a person could be grown, but look how many people are grown in age, but not grown in their emotions. They don't know how to process emotions. They don't know how to speak up for themselves. They don't know how to respect boundaries. They don't know that that person's not into them, that person doesn't like them or hate them, and not having enough confidence to say, I don't deserve that. I deserve better than this. And I'm grateful that I'm in that space today and that I've transformed into this person so that I can elevate and help other people. Okay? So this has been a great chit chat. Thanks everybody for joining me. In about an hour and a half, I'm going to have a premiere on this channel. And I think the premiere is a photo shoot at the symphony. It's when I went to the Florida Orchestra and they were doing some the orchestras of Debussy. So stay tuned for that if you want to see that in another hour and a half. Yeah, an hour and a half from now would be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what time it is for you guys, but in about an hour and a half time, it's going to be a premiere on my channel. I think the video is like 7 or 8 minutes, so it's not going to be too long. Come by, check out that premiere, and you can be able to talk in the chat. I appreciate every single person that came through on this live today. Thank you guys so much. Delvin, Sirius, PMC, Realist. Thank you. Shout out to my mods because you guys are awesome. And also thank you to everybody who is new here, to all of my New Gems family. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And my replay gang that replays all my live streams. Thank you so much for helping and supporting my watch time. And shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, which is Life with Marlene. I'm your Florida vlogger, life coach, and motivator. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. I hope you take care of yourself and have enough courage to transform yourself into whatever you need to. You can do it. I believe in you. I'll see you guys at the premiere later on and back when I'm live the next time. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.